All right, Travis. We saw at the beginning of the episode, Travis was a little upset. Actually, yeah, let's just get straight to it, huh?
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, bro. Let's rip it off.
All right, you ready? Okay. The Raiders lost last week.
Oh my god! Oh my god. So, wait, who do we lose to?
The football team.
Who's the football team?
They're out of Washington, Travis. They are the
The Washington football team? The Robert Griffin III's?
He doesn't.
Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm just going to say this very quickly, okay? Because I hate the Raiders. I hate them. I love them. I hate them. We're in a toxic relationship right now.
It's
okay?
very abusive.
It's an abusive relationship.
It's a very abusive, mentally
Can't you
abusive.
see when I come around? Guys, but listen. The Raiders, Derek Carr, you're the main prospect today, okay? You're the main suspect. I hate you. You know why I hate you? It's because the Cowboys, you gave me hope. Darren Waller went out. And we were still able to put points up on the board.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, yeah. You guys, okay. We didn't go over week 12 because we had that break. Mm-hmm. I want to say I was very impressed with how the Raiders played against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Yeah. But continue.
So he showed me that we could still score. I thought our receivers were terrible, right? But in that game...
Yeah, lost to Henry Ruggs.
In that game against the Cowboys, they didn't look too bad.
Deshaun Jackson did his thing.
Yeah, and the Cowboys DBs, okay, they got to be pretty similar to what the football team has. They're pretty similar. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're telling me the football team DBs are way better than the Cowboys DBs.
No.
There's no way you're telling me that. No. Trayvon Diggs?
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
The best Washington quarterback is Kendall Fuller.
He's okay. He maybe a little bit above average.
Yeah.
But I would way rather have Trayvon Diggs on my team. So,
yeah, right now.
The fact that our offense could not even score is very disappointing, and I blame Derek Carr 100%. Because you showed me in the last game that you could do it with these receivers. So, I have to put the blame on you.
You're taking away the excuses now.
Yeah, now there's no more excuses. I seen you do it. So, what's your excuse? Mm-hmm. Now, this is the last thing. I turned off the game for a second because I started punching walls and I turned it off. And then I come back. We have the lead.
Yeah.
And guess what? Our rookie, free safety, Trayvon Moehrig, has a ball that comes right
to him. Who has shown some potential.
Ball comes right to him. If he catches the ball, you know what happens?
Game
over. Even a pick six to add to his resume. He drops the ball. And you know what happens? They kick a field goal, and we lose.
I feel like people overlook how big dropped interceptions. That's why guys like Trayvon Diggs and cornerbacks who actually do have solid hands have to be appreciated more. Because those determine games.
If he would have caught that ball, all we needed to do was make it through this game because Darren Waller wasn't there. Yeah. So if we make it through this game, the season still looks bright.
Yeah.
But now we're looking at the season like, oh, Lord.
Because, that pick was so huge, man. Now that you got to look back at it, it's like that was the game. And then in the end, Washington does end up winning. So that's the play to look on that final drive. Yeah. The Raiders. Derek Carr at the beginning of the season, I definitely thought was underrated, considered. I stated that Derek Carr had the potential to be argued as a top 10 quarterback in the league.
No.
At the start of the season, he looked like that. He looked like he was really solidified inside a top 10 right now. The way he started the season. At this point right now,
I'm putting my mask back on.
I would say he maybe is top 15 with the way he's playing.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's a bottom 30 quarterback, man. Get him out of here.
But, here's what I got to say. Derek Carr has his games, and then he doesn't. And it's a cool mask, though, right?
I didn't know the ice cream.
Oh, there you go. Makes it better to see.
Oh, maybe I'll keep it on.
But what I was saying about Derek Carr is it's not enough as an NFL quarterback to just, be okay and be a game manager, And Derek Carr has his moments where he erupts for a huge amount of passing yards, passing touchdowns, and he looks great. but then he has these games where he is just lackluster. He's thrown a couple pick sixes this year, correct?
Yes.
Has he?
Yes, he has.
That already, and he's thrown them a lot throughout his career. You see that, like you could probably see one Derek Carr pick six once every season at the least, right?
Yeah.
So, it's
one more thing we also have to touch on with Derek Carr. He's definitely leading the league. Well, he's not leading the league anymore, but he's top 2 in passing yards. But guess where he is in passing touchdowns and what actually matters?
much.
Bottom 15.
Bottom
he has
15.
17 touchdowns.
Yeah.
17? Are you serious?
That sounds about right.
17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
That sounds about right.
That ratio is a little too close,
Yeah,
man.
that sounds about right. He's not the guy for the future for the Raiders at this point now. It's time for the Raiders to start looking forward for another quarterback. Because Derek Carr, while he has its moments, it's not good enough to get this team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, it's not good enough to get this team a Super Bowl. And now it's really showing that it's not even good enough to get this team to the playoffs. Yeah. He had his one good season where he was considered an MVP.
2016.
And now it's looking like it's time for Derek Carr to move on. And then on the other, it's kind of the whole entire offense, with it sucks because you guys have been going through stuff with, Henry Ruggs and a lot of other guys on this team having to, obviously John Gruden too at the head coaching spot. It's hurt this team's morale, and it's hurt this team obviously with the scheming and everything like that. They feel out of sync, but it's time to start maybe probably looking towards next season.
Guys, let's get into quarterback.
A new quarterback.
Let's get Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson would go to the Raiders. That's what it was stated. He would waive his no trade clause for the Raiders.
Hey, make it happen, guys.
Thing is you still have Darren Waller, and you have
we have pieces.
You have pieces that can make this team very solid. You got to get a new coach this next offseason to really kind of bring it together. And
we have a solid defense.
You need a new commander at the helm.
Yeah,
you do.
We'll see what happens though.
Yeah. Speaking of, just to go against with the Carr point, like when you look at the stat sheets for Carr, you wouldn't see a horrible game. 28 of 38, 249 yards passing.
How many touchdowns did he throw?
0. And it doesn't look bad on the stat sheet, right? But he wasn't able to convert on third downs.
And he doesn't score in the red zone.
And you can't score in the red zone, which is exactly, it's huge. But speaking of another AFC West team, the Chargers obliterated the Bengals. And I just want to state this right now. It was 41-22. I got to say this right now. I think after pretty much seeing the majority of the season, it's safe to say these are the two most inconsistent teams in the league. Am I wrong to say that?
Didn't the Bengals lose to the Jets?
The Bengals lost to the Jets after beating the Ravens 40-20.
Yeah, something about right.
Something about right?
Yeah, so
and the Chargers on the other hand got blown out by the Ravens after beating the Browns and the Chiefs in Kansas City.
Definitely the most inconsistent team.
So
they're the most Derek Carr teams I've ever seen. But
the spirit of Derek Carr flows within them.
One thing that I learned about the Bengals, and I've seen a consistency in this, is if Jamar Chase doesn't go crazy, they don't win games. So I think he's the X factor for the Bengals. Now, I mean, it might be kind of obvious, but if you look at the stats for most of their games, Jamar Chase, when he doesn't dominate the receiving and someone else takes over, Tyler Boyd is on the head or T. Higgins is on the head of it, they don't win the game.
Yeah. And another thing I got to say, I think Jamar Chase is starting to slowly lose that Offensive Rookie of the Year.
And we're going to talk about it a little.
And we're going to talk about it a little later. But Jamar Chase, yes, he is an X factor. He's also somehow managed the drops that he had in preseason are catching up to him a little bit. And, I don't know if you saw that one play where he literally had a streak, dropped it so badly that he tipped it backwards into the defender's hands. That was a touchdown right there. That was a touchdown. It ended up turning into an interception that got turned around into a Chargers touchdown. Plays like that cannot happen. And that's why the Bengals are so inconsistent right now.
Yep.
Inconsistency doesn't mean bad. It just means that for some reason, every week, their team comes unprepared. and they play down to the opponent's level or worse. And that kind of has to be held on coaching a little bit too. You know? So the Bengals really got to start, just coming in with a better game plan, and they need to be more consistent. Joe Burrow needs to stop making mistakes with the interceptions. Joe Burrow's leading the league in interceptions right now.
Joe Burrow is?
Despite having a great season. Let me check that interception total again. 14.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not good, Joe.
23 of 14.
My guy Joe, man.
So that's not a good sign right there. And that goes to, turnovers are huge in the game. It shifts momentum. It can also put the opposing team in great field position. It helps them with the field position battle. So Joe Burrow has to shore up on the turnovers, and this Bengals team needs to find a little more consistency with the run game. And Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon has his games, and then there's games where he just doesn't appear.
It's a little quiet.
It's a little quiet.
They need to find their identity and stick
to
that
it. And I think the identity really should be run first,
and
pass
feed it to Jamar.
Pass second.
Yeah.
Because they do have great three receivers. T. Higgins has looked great actually the last 2 games.
Tyler Boyd
and Jamar Chase. But I think it starts with the run game, and then you help Burrow out by working with the play action off of that.
Yeah.
It helps guys get open. It helps receivers be able to slip by and find zones inside that defense. I think you got to start with the run game. On the Chargers end, it's also kind of the same story. It is. Because the Chargers are inconsistent. The Chargers lost to the Broncos last week. And then here they go against the Bengals. Dominate.
Makes no sense.
I need to stop seeing Joe Burrow have 35 to 40 passing attempts a game.
Yeah, it's a little much when you have a player like Austin Eckler on your team.
I need them to start working that run game a little more, because Herbert's thrown a couple more interceptions this year than he had probably last year. He has 11. He has 11.
You're not too far behind Joe.
He's not, but he is at 27 touchdown passes too.
So okay,
he hit me. He kind of cancels that out with how good of a passer he is. Anyways, we know Justin Herbert, one of the best passers in the league. But because he has so many pass attempts and the teams are expecting the pass now, they're able to pin their ears back and play the passing game. They're able to pick him off once in a while, and that could go a long way. So I think both of these teams need to find their run game a little bit.
Yes.
And the Chargers defense finally came to play. We need to see that Brandon Staley defense come out with a little more consistency.
Oh, is this the game where Cheeto had that great play too? Cheeto
Bay Awuzie.
Yeah. You just got to show a little love, man. That was a great play, man. Representing the Bay.
Yes, sir. Great play. Bengals have a big game this week too. So we'll see how that goes. Another one. This is my favorite. It's the one I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this for a while. The Detroit Lions gotta win. The Lions have beaten the Vikings, and we're not going to go over this one too much because it's not like it has so much playoff implications. But I just want to state the Lions beat the Vikings 29-27.
How did this happen?
Jared Goff, baby, NFC Player of the Week, 296 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns.
This really
including
speaks,
the game winner.
This really speaks to the quality of Minnesota defense.
Oh yeah,
this really speaks to that.
To that?
How? I don't care. You don't have Dalvin Cook. I don't care. Does that matter?
Madison actually had 90 yards rushing and still a touchdown. Here's my thing. I've been defending him all year, and it hurts to me to finally say it, but relax. First of all, relax.
Let's say it. Come on. Just say it, Drew. Let it out.
Kirk Cousins
might
be the most inconsistent quarterback in the league.
I need a little more.
No, I'm not gonna go that far.
You suck! You could have beat the Niners the week before, and you just lost to the Detroit Lions. Are you serious?
I'm not gonna go that far.
He lost to the Lions.
I'm sorry. I can't bring myself to it.
He gave them their first win of.
Damn it, Travis! I can't do that to Kirk.
Oh.
Okay.
Captain Kirk, you got demoted.
He's still Captain Kirk. Okay, let me just say this. Okay, he is one of the best garbage time quarterbacks there is.
What is a best garbage time?
That's what I mean though. The stat sheets make it look so much better because when the game is out of reach and everything, and he gets that little final drive, he'll be able to sneak in a couple touchdowns and make his stat sheet look better. All that, right? And he's passing. You look at the stats. Oh my God. You look at the stat. I'm over here dry heaving. You look at the stat sheet. 30 of 40 passing, 340 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Sounds
No,
like
that wasn't the game, though.
Sounds like a great game, right? But when I watched it finally, and then I look at the stat sheet, I'm like, I didn't look at that game and think Kirk Cousins had a good day.
No, he didn't.
You know?
He did not.
I didn't look
You
at
should score 40 on the Lions, and how did the Lions score 29?
And, you know, even in the other game, the Niner game, I'm looking at the stat sheet here. 20 of 32 passing, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I look at that, and I'm like, that's not a bad game. And yet, being there, watching that game, I could say, I think that was Kirk Cousins' worst game of the season. You know,
I just wanted to say this because we weren't able to talk about this. Didn't Kirk Cousins have 2 chances to beat you guys?
Yeah. They weren't able to convert in the goal line, and he missed a big pass to Justin Jefferson on a 2-point conversion.
That's all I wanted to say.
So
that's all I wanted to say. Kirk Cousins, you suck. I don't care what anybody says. You suck. You're worse than Derek Carr, and I hate him. He sucks too. But you suck even more. That's all I want to say.
I won't go that far, but I will say, I might be starting to see the truth now a little bit more. He still has great games, and he erupts for like great passing days, like the one against the Packers. But then he has these games where it looks better on the stat sheet, but then you actually watch and you realize, he didn't come up on those big plays, on those big third down plays that you needed as a team. He can't convert. He can't finish a drive. That's what you need out of a quarterback. That's what you have the quarterback for, That's what defines the greats from, just the decent.
Didn't Kirk Cousins come from the Redskins?
He was. Yeah.
And who did they get?
They drafted RG3. And the Kirk Cousins was later in the round. They still drafted Kirk in the same draft.
Man, I want you guys to look at where the football team is. And they did not want Kirk Cousins. I think that says a lot. So, let's just
okay.
Let's leave it alone.
Enough with the Kirk slander. We'll
you suck.
You jump away from it. Next one. Now talk about a team to slander. Oh. We go right back to it, don't we? We have 2. We have 3
and
good.
We got the same record, man. How's life? You like it over here?
Don't touch me. Oh. Okay, I just want to say here's the difference. 6-6 for the Raiders is good. 6-6 for the Niners is considered bad. We're not the same.
This isn't good. This is our average.
Hey, we're not the same, bro.
This is our
There's
average.
Different levels to these franchises. We're not the same, bro. We're not the same. We're not the same.
This is our average of the last couple.
And this is bad. This is bad for us.
But this is becoming your average.
No.
It was the year before it was bad, and the year before that.
No, we're not the same, Travis. All right, either way. Niners had 3 great games in a row. They beat the Rams in a blowout in Levi Stadium. They decimate the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And then they beat the Vikings, taking that number 6 spot in the playoff seeding. Then they go into Seattle, a team that has pretty much had their number despite one season, which was the Super Bowl run season. And even then, Seattle still got theirs against the Niners. They lose again in Seattle. Again.
I saw somebody say something like, the Seahawks, they don't care about any other team, but anytime they play the Niners,
it's different, man. I mean, they brought out the bag of tricks today, but I gotta say, I think this was I remember I heard it. This was a game between 2 mediocre teams fighting to see who could be more mediocre, because this game was awful. It was hard to watch. It was sloppy football. I think the Seattle had 4 total turnovers.
Oh my gosh!
And the Niners had 3.
Guys. All right, so George Kittle, great game.
Oh my God, George Kittle, yeah.
Destroyed the entire Seahawks defense. But let me tell you this. I have Gerald Everett on my fantasy team. He fumbled twice and lost the ball twice. Man, I'm telling you this right now. They had the ball on the goal line. He scores, game's over. Field goal, game is over.
Man, I got to give him credit that they kept trusting him.
They gave him the ball. You are on the 3-yard line. You cannot fumble. Fumbles the ball, the Niners get it, and Jimmy Garoppolo is just not good enough. But
Well, yes. It was a horrible game when I really look at it. It was just bad. My favorite Gerald Everett one was the one that he had I don't know if you know, the drag route, drops it, and then it bounces off his foot into our defender's hands for a pick. But just too many turnovers on both sides, so it was bad. It was a bad showing. My problem with the Niners are two people. It's Kyle Shanahan.
ooh,
And it's Jimmy Garoppolo.
ooh.
First of all, defense actually played a great game when you really think about it. When the defense forces 4 turnovers,
Technically, that's a good game.
that's a great game. And we basically gave Seattle a lot of our points because of our turnovers that gave them a good field position. Oh man, and George Kittle played such an amazing game. But tell me why George Kittle, I believe he had 5 receptions at the half. Tell me why it took until the final drive for him to get the final 4 receptions that he had on the game. He didn't get another reception for the entirety of that third quarter, and basically, essentially, until that final drive finally got the rest of his receptions. And when you realize that they were throwing him the ball, the Niners were actually moving down the field.
Yeah, what I saw in this game was Debo is very essential to this team.
He is. And I could also say he's maybe almost overused on this team because now this team doesn't know how to operate without him now. When we should be using guys like George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, we didn't use those guys. And Kyle Shanahan went right back to that predictable run on first, run on second, throw on third. How easy is that for a defense to defend? If you really think about it, as a defender too, you stop the run on first down, maybe they get 3 yards. You stop the run on second down, maybe 2 yards. Then it's 3rd and 5,
you're
3rd
just
and
trying
6.
to get to that stick right there.
3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. You know a pass is coming. It's so much easier to defend a pass when it's like that.
Yep.
The best example I have for it was when the Niners got pinned at the 1. The Niners got hit with a safety this game. Seattle was able to get a safety on them. What happened was the Niners ran on first down inside the 1. The Niners ran on second down inside the 1. So then you leave Jimmy Garoppolo on a 3rd and long inside the 1, both teams knowing it's a pass. And then they were able to pin their ears back and get a safety on Garoppolo. Now people might look at that and say, oh, that was 100% Garoppolo's fault. No, Shanahan set him up for failure. So it's a little dynamic duo that they got here. Jimmy Garoppolo has his all god-awful moments where he makes poor decisions, where he just zones in on receiver, and then he also makes high throws. It's just inaccurate. That's one problem. The next problem is Kyle Shanahan's play calling is not helping to try to take away Jimmy Garoppolo's weaknesses. We looked so good in the first half. You know why? Because we were going play action on first down. Bootlegs. George Kittle on the bootleg. I don't think people on teams understand just how unguardable a play action boot is when a team has a solid running game like the Niners. Mm-hmm. If you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it to stop?
Because you got to play both.
You have to play the run. You have to stay disciplined to the run. So that's why you got to use the play action boot, and it helps the defense stay honest. Mm-hmm. And then it helps your run game. We went away from that completely in the second half. Back to that run on first, run on second, shotgun throw on third.
We just need some diversity, okay, Kyle?
It's predictable.
Kyle,
it's
we need some diversity.
And when you have a quarterback like Garoppolo, he's not able to bail out Shanahan's poor play calling.
Yeah. But the Niners are lucky because the NFC is a lot easier.
A lot easier this year.
It's a lot easier to make it into the playoffs than it would be in the AFC. So
here's my thing as a fan, though. I don't want to get into the playoffs just to get stomped out by the Bucs or the Packers in the first round.
You want to actually make it to the Super Bowl.
Why else would you want to go to the playoffs? You don't want to make the dance just to make the dance, you know? You want to try to do something.
You want to have some fun while you have the dance too.
Exactly. You don't want to just be in the corner drinking fruit punch, in the gym.
Yeah.
You want to be in the middle of the dance floor, having some fun, giving it a shot, really trying to go for it.
You want to be in the mosh pit.
Exactly.
I know what you mean.
Right now we're
not like Travis Scott.
Right now we're just standing in the corner. We don't even have fruit punch in our hand right now. We're just kind of just sitting there, separate
Maybe
from
a
the
girl
group.
will want to dance with me.
Oh no, they don't. They don't. Not with the Niners.
But yeah, I think we'll just have to wait and see what the Niners do.
We have to see. I want to see more from this team though. If when we get into the playoffs. Now this is
one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
I love this game. I love this game. I love this game.
The Patriots went up against the Bills in a blizzard game. A game where you could not kick a field goal. You could not kick a PAT.
Yep. It was just completely windy. The winds got up to like 20 miles per hour. If you've seen the footage before, kicks were literally going up, and the wind pushed it back when it got high enough in the air.
But if you were in the other direction,
it was
you could
zooming.
kick it. You could kick it from the other 30.
Yeah. The first kickoff of the game went all the way into the stands. So definitely an interesting game. Now,
I think just lightly what you got to say. The Patriots were able to get this win.
14-10.
I think the biggest conversation about this is that both teams don't want to pass the ball when it's this windy. You can't really see that well. Nobody really wants to pass the ball.
Yeah.
The issue that came in this game is the Bills do not have a running offense.
Oh, big time. Big time. We knew. That's why I think people had New England as favorites when it came to the weather as well.
Yeah. Because that
the
New
Bills'
England can run the ball.
Biggest flaw was shown tonight.
Yeah. And
that night.
They also cannot defend the run.
Nope.
Their biggest strength is passing on offense and defending the pass on defense.
Oh my God, it was just so bad. Okay, could I just name off the stats here real quick before you go on? New England, 46 rushes, 222 yards rushing on 46 rushing attempts. That's an average of 4.8 yards per carry. That's insane yards per carry right there. That's very good. The passing stats for Mac Jones, he was 2 for 3 for 19 yards and won the game.
This is what I have to say.
And won the game.
Very quickly. Yes, the Patriots got to win. And yes, it's not Mac Jones' fault that the weather is the way that it is. But what I want to take away from this is that you have to give Bill Belichick credit. Because as you can see, he knows how to win games. You can't just say Mac Jones is the reason why the Patriots are good. You have to give most of the credit to Bill. I don't even want to give most of the credit to Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I'm giving most of it to Bill Belichick.
Well, it is. I think this game also solidified Bill Belichick as being the favorite for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, because this team is not supposed to be number one.
No.
Not at all.
Not even just number one. Right now, I myself would say that I consider this team the favorite in the AFC to win out and go to the Super Bowl right now. Sitting at the 1 seed at 9-4, the most red hot team in the league. Don't look at me like that. Don't give me that look. Travis, think about it. They were sitting at 2-4.
Wait a minute. You think they're gonna beat the Chiefs?
Yes, 100%.
The Patriots would beat the Chiefs.
I think the Patriots right now are the favorites over the Chiefs. Travis, they were 2-4. They are sitting at 9-4 right now on the top of their division.
The Patriots are going to beat the Chiefs. I'm so stuck on this.
Travis, remember what I said a couple of weeks ago? I said the Patriots will probably only lose maybe one more game. If any at all. I truly feel like this Patriots team is taking the 1 seed. They're sitting at, they won 7 straight now. And they just beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So that means they stole the one in Buffalo. Now the next time that they meet, it's going to be in New England.
We'll see about that one. But obviously, the Bills, it's not a shocker to me that they lost this game.
No.
Now, if the weather wasn't the way it was, I think this game could have been a little different. Maybe the Bills win.
Had this game had good weather, I still think the Patriots win.
Patriots probably could have still won. But... Mm-hmm. Anything could really happen when you have an offense with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So could have been different, but it's fun to watch these snow games sometimes.
Oh yeah. It wasn't a full snowstorm because they clear out the field. I wish it was a kind of like a snow-covered field.
Yeah.
But it was really just a blizzard windy game. Man, again to my point, I think New England right now is the best team in the league. They are the best team in the league right now. They're the most well-coached, well-balanced team. They have a great run game as proven. Their running schemes are great. Can I just say, when a team solely commits to the run game, you think it would just be so easy to stop them. But their run schemes were taking advantage of the Bills' over-aggressiveness. Because when you overcommit on a run, if you slip by that first level, there's no one else there. And we saw Damian Harris break away for that touchdown as proof of that. But their run schemes were great. Mac Jones is a solid enough passer to get the job done off of play action. Two receivers who are looking very solid. Kendrick Bourne has actually stepped up a lot as a receiver now. You got the double tight end set of Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, which is nice. But they're just most well balanced. And you got Matthew Judon there working the end with 12.5 sacks right now on the season.
Yeah.
J.C. Jackson, you got guys there in that secondary. Hightower at the linebacker spot, the veteran presence right there. Kyle Van Noy as well. This Patriots team is the most well-balanced and most ready right now to win a Super Bowl. They truly are. The Bills, on the other hand, are at risk of missing the playoffs if they're sitting at the 7th seed right now, late in the season.
We'll see how it goes, but I think that the Bills will still make the playoffs because they're very talented.
I have to say, I'm a little more nervous for the Bills making the playoffs because of who they have. And we'll get into that with the predictions. We could just do that right now. We can almost use it as a transition. But I am scared for the Bills a little bit. I will just say that. I am scared for the Bills because they have shown too much inconsistency offensively, and their run defense has shown inconsistency as well. So basically the running
anything running
for the Bills? Eesh. So we'll move on to week 14 now and give our predictions for this upcoming week of football. First game, Thursday Night Football, which is tonight. Steelers versus Vikings.
Steelers suck. I'm going with the Vikings.
Vikings suck. I'm going with the Steelers. Next one, Ravens versus Browns.
Going with the Ravens as a lock.
I'm going with the Ravens as well. This is in Cleveland. Next one, Jags versus Titans.
I think Jags. No. I'm going with Titans.
Titans. Despite the Titans' poor play as of late,
the Jaguars.
It's still the Jaguars.
No.
This could be a game where the Titans can get back in rhythm a little bit. Next one, Travis. Raiders versus Chiefs in Kansas City.
Oh my God.
What are you going to do?
We're going to get demolished in the first game.
Oh.
But now, we're going to come back and take this dub. So I got the Raiders.
I got the Chiefs. I have to go Chiefs as a lock.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you, but I got faith in my team.
Yeah. Next one, Saints versus Jets.
I'm gonna go Saints.
I'm going Saints as well. Next one, Cowboys versus Washington.
Cowboys.
Washington's been on a win streak, but I'm still gonna go Cowboys.
Yeah.
Falcons in Carolina.
This is very weird.
It's a game that could go either way.
The Falcons have been bad, but the Panthers were good, but now they're kind of bad. Cam Newton, Sam Darnold,
and then the Falcons got good for like a brief second of a win streak, and then they got bad again. So
I'm just gonna go with the Panthers.
I'm going with the Falcons. God, I don't want to touch that one. I really wish I wouldn't have to. Seahawks versus Texans.
The Seahawks just came off a win against the Niners, so they're not completely trash.
And the Texans are now officially the worst team in the NFL. They're the first team eliminated from the playoffs.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
I'm going with the Seahawks as well. Lions versus Broncos.
I hope that the Broncos do not lose this game, even though the Lions just won. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I almost want to go with the Lions because I've seen this before where a team, when they get their first win, they get in rhythm for some reason. You know what I mean? You've seen it from the Jets last year where the Jets won their first game and then they beat the Browns the week after. But they just catch a little bit of rhythm and a little bit of that that swagger, that energy.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go Broncos still. I can't bank on that though.
Oh,
that's the thing. Giants versus Chargers. Chargers. Although be worried because the Chargers are inconsistent and they lost to teams they shouldn't have lost to. We'll see how that one goes. 49ers versus Bengals in Cincinnati. This is two teams right now, both fighting for playoff contention in their respective leagues.
Now, I'm sorry to say this to you, Dro. The Bengals have the best receiving core. Not the best, but they have
relax.
really top receiving core. And they have Jamar Chase, And I don't know who on the Niners can guard him. I don't know who can guard T. Higgins either.
Well, we know Jamar Chase is going to cover himself with his hands.
But T. Higgins ain't going to cover himself.
All right.
So you I got to go with the Bengals.
I'm going to trust my Niners. I am. Don't let me down, Kyle. Don't let me down. This is my... actually, this isn't my game of the week, but it's close. It was close, too. Bills versus Bucks.
Bucks has a lock. As we were talking about earlier, Bills...
Yeah, this is what I was saying when I said I'm worried about the Bills possibly not even making the playoffs. It's not because I do think that they're not a good enough team to be in the playoffs. I think it's more so because of their strength of schedule. And right now the Bills are 1-4 against teams with winning records. That's not a good sign. They only beat the Chiefs, and that was when the Chiefs were at their lowest.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen enough from this Bills team to be like, yeah, they're ready to fight for playoff spot. So I gotta go Bucks. Next one, Sunday Night Football: Bears versus Packers in Green Bay.
Packers.
Let me check. According to Google, it seems like Aaron Rodgers still owns the Packers, so I'm gonna go Packers. Still owns the Bears. Damn it! I messed up that joke.
Yeah,
darn.
Let's just throw that away.
Throw that one out. Packers versus. I got Packers. Last one, Monday Night Football. This is my game of the week.
Game of the week.
And
I'm being bold here. I got a lock on you.
I do too.
Who's your lock?
The Rams. Do you have the Rams?
I have the Rams.
Oh, we're gonna lose together. Cause I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous about this one, but the reason why I'm saying this, it's not all the signs point to going for the Cardinals, but I just have this gut feeling about the Rams this time.
Yeah, I feel like this game they just won, even though it was a bad team.
Yeah, but they need to get their win
against. They
just
needed to get a win, and now they're just gonna start.
I'm waiting for their statement win.
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be now.
Odell. I got a big, bold prediction.
What you got?
Odell. 2 touchdowns. With the slash, 150 yards this game.
Okay. Wow.
Bam.
That's extremely bold.
And drop the mic.
Well, that will be it for this week's episode. I guess we'll find out next week if Travis's bold prediction was right or wrong. So I want to thank you guys for staying for this episode, and
we'll see you next time.